Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Thailand and welcome to Worm Bin Weekends Week 19. Now, I changed my mind and the reason is because this little guy showed up. Yay! So I've been a paper and cardboard shredding fool for the past few days, which is a good thing because really I need to get some cardboard into bin one, and this one does a really good job. Now the logo looks awfully familiar, but it's actually called a deli, and it does the cross cut that I need on the paper and the cardboard, so it shreds perfectly. And now that I don't have to sit and crank, I can actually crank out a lot more shredded up cardboard and paper a lot faster, and that helps me out quite a bit. So today's probably just gonna be a really short video for all three bins. Bin one, I'm simply just going to be putting in the bedding and checking on the worms to see that they're doing okay. And when we get to bins 2 and 3, after the video shoot last week, after week 18, I put some extra food at the top of the castings because I was initially going to do that anyway, but when I saw that they hadn't even really ate the food that was in there, I thought, well, maybe I'll hold off, but it had started to go bad. So I thought, no, that's not gonna be sitting in the refrigerator for another week. So in it went, and I'm going to see how they've progressed with that and probably just fold it in with the rest of the materials just to make sure it's covered up. So probably some real fast stuff this week. Next week will be a little bit more fun because we'll have 2 weeks under our belts since the bin one system got brought back into circulation. So anyway, enough my rambling. It's week 19. Let's go check things out. Okay, week 19, bin 1. As you can see, the lid has been off the past week. So let's just start to move things around a bit. This is where we put one patch of worms. Actually, as you can see, they're up here in the leaf material. Some of them are. In fact, a few of them are. Looks like I've got quite a few up here in the leaf material. Looks like they've been just working up here on the upper layers, which is a good thing. Our cold season is getting ready to come to an end. The daytime temperatures are already back up into the 80s. The night times, however, look at that. They just stayed in a group together ever since they got put in this bin. What I was saying was the daytime temperatures are in the 80s Fahrenheit. In the evenings, it's still dropping down into around the mid 50s. So yeah, it's cooler in the evenings but warmer in the day. So they should start picking their activity back up soon, hopefully. Now for bin 1 here, what I'm going to do is just simply add some bedding to this probably extremely anaerobic area. In other words, the whole bin. Let's just dig in. Now we put that cardboard bottom in before, and I'm not expecting to find much of anything down here. Yeah, it's got a smell to it, and it's going to. Probably will not find any of the worms down here for quite some time. It's gonna take a while. Oh yeah, and this is a good thing that I'm doing this now because you can see it's really wet down here. Really wet, and you know, this is all from the vegetable slurries and the decomposition of the rice that was given because I never added water to this bin in the cycling process. Anyway, enough of that rambling. Let's get some bedding in. And all that's going to do is just to, absorb all the nastiness down below. Good 3 handfuls will be fine. I'm just gonna have to continue to work my way through the rest of the bin this way. And, try to hopefully not bury too many of the worms down in that area. Although there are some of them. Some fella right here. here. Yeah, bin one's gonna take a little while to balance out. There's gonna be an adjustment period that definitely is gonna be necessary for this to work. It's actually, let's see, room temperature right now is at 74 degrees, and as I was moving this bedding here, wow. I was not expecting it to jump up that high. Maybe it is going to hit thermophilic, in which case leaving the lid off and just leaving the worms to do their thing at the top layers is probably best. 92 degrees is still the mesophilic range. This bin got up to about 97, 98 degrees and not any hotter than that back when I was attempting to get it to go thermophilic. So I'm not overly concerned. Rice is going to do that, especially with as much as I put in here. But yeah, they'll be fine, especially given right now that this is the cold season. The temperature, this is really based off of the bacteria that's getting built up. The time of year, I didn't think it was going to play as much of a role in that as it had, especially since I don't really live like in a very cold region of the world. My thought was, well, you know, it might get a little affected by the cold here, but I mean, it's not that cold, relatively speaking. I mean, 50 degrees, maybe 49 degrees tops. Yeah, that's not, you know, I mean, it's cold. I mean, for you and me, that is. But for it's just, I mean, anything that's above freezing, as far as I'm concerned, is not cold. Anything above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah, that's no big deal. Just adding some more bedding to kind of take the edge off here a little bit. It's kind of weird. It actually doesn't smell that bad now that I've mixed it, but that was really soupy stuff at the bottom, as you saw. So this is important. Okay, leave material back over. Yeah, on this other side's gonna be just about the same. This is where we had our other pile of worms, and yeah, you can see that they're pretty much right still in the same area where they got dropped off. A couple of them, not as much of a group as there was on the other side here. But let's do the same on this side. Mushy nastiness, very wet. I don't know how well you guys can see that. In fact, even the dry layer that I put in down below is still pretty well intact in the middle. But this is going to take quite a while for them to balance it out, which is fine. Everything that's going on in here, the worms like, as far as the microbes go. I mean, this is what they eat. They don't actually eat food. What they eat are the microbes that get collected as the food begins to decompose and break down. That's what they actually eat. So it's just going to take a while, but once this thing's had a chance to really kind of run its course, it'll be fine. It'll be back into its normal mode. Right now, I just want to. Yeah. It's so odd that I was not able to achieve anything even remotely close to that on that final day before I decided to put them back in. But it takes time. But I put a lot of rice in here, as you can tell. And so I was actually kind of surprised that it didn't hit 120, 130. That being said, I'm going to be doing that video anyway, because I want to show you guys that you can cycle the bin just to the mesophilic stage. You don't have to necessarily take it to the thermophilic. It's great if you can. That's more for the bedding than the bin though, because obviously it's not going to be staying at those temperatures, but that definitely helps get your bedding ready. And there's a way that you can do it without rice. It's just, you need another container, something that's more deep than wide, and just the type of bedding that you saw me use with an appropriate amount of vegetable slurry mixed in with it, and it works. I'm actually going to be collaborating with another YouTuber on this video. I reached out to this person, asked them if I could use some of their content. They said absolutely, by all means, please do. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's just use the rest of this bedding. Guess why not? All right. So that's it for bin 1 this week. Worms look to be more on top than on anything else. They don't appear to have dove down into anything yet. It's still, it's going to take them a while. They're going to be hanging out here on top for a while still, I think. It's just more appropriate for them at this point in time, and they look healthy. They look, they actually look like they're getting bigger. There's been this conversation going on for a while now amongst a few YouTubers that are keeping African night crawlers about the adults shrinking in the presence of babies. That's been one theory, and there's been a lot of discussion back and forth where people say, well, that's really not the case, and others saying, yeah, well, I think it is. I'll take it one step further. I not only think that that is what's happening, but what's really happening is population density based off of volume and space in your bin. That's what's happening. It's not just the babies, it's the population. And I think what the worms are doing is they're like, this is our home, this is our food source, this is where we live. And they aren't going to, they just don't want to be overcrowded. So they adjust their body size accordingly. And I think that's probably what's happening. Something is causing the adults to shrink. And so, whether that's the case or some other set of factors, I don't really know, but it's just an interesting observation that myself and some others have made. So I'm going to keep my eye on it because as I've already said when I was getting the set back up, I only put 200 or so in here. That's not a lot for a 14-gallon bin. So I'm expecting over time to see them actually grow in size until they start to reproduce again, in which case I think the cycle will start itself over again. Anyway, enough of my rambling. That's it for today. I want to really thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please do like and share the video. Hit the bell notification icon so you can be alerted when I upload new content. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd really love it if you give consideration to do so. Listen, wherever you are in the world today or tonight, you take care. Bye for now.